mediation center, which will be housed in the Supreme Court free of cost for mediation to be conducted free of cost. I remember when Ms. Sara Tarod was appointed as a mediator, and she successfully mediated a case which went on for years on end. And then there was another case when we wanted to appoint a mediator, and my Chief Justice said, why not appoint her again? I said, no, sir, and I'm sorry for that. I said, no, sir, if you're going to appoint her, you will have to pay her. You cannot be expecting mediators to work pro bono. Yes, they can do it once, they can do it twice, but not in every other case. Because mediation, I tell you, is also a very lucrative part of the profession. When you will see that when cases are referred, commercial cases will be referred. And in the commercial cases, there is a very high stakes for the mediator. Abroad, especially in Singapore, there is a certain percentage of the settlement amount that is set aside for the mediator's payment. This will happen in Pakistan, and I'm very confident that it will. But we are at the nascent stage. Do remember, our journey has started in 2022. In Turkey, it started in the year 2013, and by 2022, they had 3 million cases decided through a process of mediation. 3 million is a lot. When asked this time, last week, that what is the number, they said it is 9 million. 9 million is a staggering figure to decide through a process of mediation. In Pakistan, the total number of cases, including in the Supreme Court and the High Court, is 1.82 million. That is a very large number for the number of judges that we have to humanly cater for. So therefore, the alternative dispute resolution mechanisms have to be adopted to address this issue. Before leaving the rostrum, there is one other aspect that needs to be discussed, which is the talk of mandatory mediation. We have to be very careful about it. There is a draft bill that I have had the sight of, prepared by the Ministry of Law, which has the effect of including Section 3A in our Alternative Dispute Resolution Act of 2017. And that schedule will list the laws or the types of cases that have to be mandatorily referred to mediation. We have to bear in mind that there are certain laws, like, for example, the rent restriction ordinances, for example, family laws, for example, suits on negotiable instruments, and so on and so forth, which require the courts to resolve them expeditiously. By making referrals of these disputes to mediation can have a counterproductive effect. It may take longer than it would have taken for the courts to decide. So we have to be very careful that mediation, instead of becoming a time-saving device, does not become a time-consuming device. But yes, the experiment of mandatory mediation can start off with fewer laws, because we do have a large number of accredited mediators as lawyers and in different other professions, but the number is not so large to deal with mandatory mediation. So this is something over which I would like to caution the Ministry of Law, that if you intend making a list, please do not make it very long, and do not make it such that has the effect of mediation becoming a time-consuming device. Thank you so much.
अब तक के लिए इतना ही।
खेलते हैं बालों का फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स। अपने बालों के बारे में कुछ अच्छा भरिए। कुछ अच्छा? हेयर फॉल की वजह से कुछ अच्छा नहीं भर पाए? आपके बालों को चाहिए प्रोटीन का रिफिल। नया डव हेयर फॉल रेस्क्यू। इसमें है बायो प्रोटीन, ये बालों के खाली हिस्सों में प्रोटीन फिल करके हेयर फॉल कम करे 98% तक।
अब बाल देखें 2 गुना घने। Strong and no hair fall worries.
Naya Dove Hair Fall Rescue, Pakistan's best hair fall solution.
नया पाम ऑलिव नेचुरल्स, वो ही नेचुरल एक्सट्रैक्ट्स और वो ही नेचुरल ग्लो, नाउ इन न्यू पैकेजिंग। पाम ऑलिव नेचुरल्स, न्यू लुक, नेचुरल ग्लो।
A delicious blend of chocolate and hazelnut, crowned with a chocolate disc and finished with the iconic irresistible tip. Cornetto Hazelnut Chocolate, unwrap the extraordinary.
This half-hourly clock is brought to you by
लाहौर हाई कोर्ट के जस्टिस जवाद हसन खिताब कर रहे हैं।
We can see from the lens the prestige to Pakistan now, the confidence of the investor bringing the capital to Pakistan, especially after this recent war. People think of coming to Pakistan, the time frame of litigation. They think now we can see, with the help of Pakistan's all players, including Rahim and Sarah's ODR, ADR, and all centers in the government of Pakistan's backing. You can say that right now we have almost 20 centers. Every college is thinking of starting mediation and teaching mediation. Every judge has been trained as a mediator. Myself, Mr. Miangul, we were in Singapore 2-3 years ago. The lawyers are prone now to mediation because only one reason. It will not take 2 years or 2 decades. It can take 1 hour, 2 hours, it can take 2 days. Mediation is successfully, if anybody wants to see the confidence on mediation, booklet is with everybody here. I've shared with them the judgments of the High Court and the recent judgment of the Supreme Court of the Miangul Hassan Aurangzeb to 2025 Supreme Court page 499. Relying on 25 Supreme Court page 1, 24 SCMA 947, 9 judgments of the Supreme Court, Lahore High Court, I also the judgment of Texas Upper to SPD, to Leader and Morga Valley, to this judgment recently to Hotel Parko. There are approaches of mediation. And mediation is only one side, the judiciary is doing it. We need 6 people. Center, which is, we are now addressing to this category of the launch of AITC. 2, the support is of the government. Government signing the Singapore mediation in Pakistan is far ahead of countries certifying that too. Then 3rd and the most important are lawyers and their willingness to sit with us. They prefer to sit down with the other lawyers and mediate a matter. And 4th and most important is the legislative and the parliament, which are always there to support. You can see today, on the Saturday, today, the Supreme Court judge is sitting with you on this cause, the Attorney General is sitting with you, the Law Secretary is sitting with you. Everybody is sitting together because we all are Pakistanis and we need to establish a confidence to the investor abroad. The World Bank ease of doing business, banking, Pakistan is improved. When we established the commercial courts in Lahore High Court in 2020, biggest support of the Chief Justice of Pakistan, the then Justice Gulzar Aksa, we had to say that we need to improve our ranking to invest because of the questionnaire they're asking the delay in litigation. ADR is the fastest route, and when myself and Justice Miangul was in Singapore, George Zinn, the guru of the mediation, who sat and taught us, told that we were like you in foreign arbitration lawyers. Rahimji also says that, but finally when they went towards mediation, it's quick fix. One day, you settle billions of rupees. The Chief Justice of UK, Lady Suker, that day made a speech of saying that 20 billion pounds a year
they are now free for business community only through mediation, and 200 billion they have saved so far in the last 10 years on mediation. I can proudly say you have the judgment reported in CID 2023 till 2026. You can read the judgment under mediation, but every judge, including myself, we do mention the amount the companies or the parties will be saving to mediate a matter. If you count those judgments and count the amount, I calculated it's almost 60 billion rupees so far. Even the Starlight Poultry case 2025 CID 1200 mentions the amount and the workers out of job, there is no mediation. There are ways to do mediation. One is mandatory mediation, very successful. Secondly, court managed mediation. Court itself gives 1 week to parties for reality check. And third, most important, is early neutral party valuation, which I mentioned in the Netherlands, like the London Commercial Court, that when the case comes to a court can ask parties that we have evaluated the case. You can do facilitated mediation, or you can have the evaluative mediation. Fourth is a very successful approach which we did is having them sit together in a board meeting. This was a good formula where they were not mediating, one mediation failed. So I asked the parties to sit down in the board.
लाहौर हाई कोर्ट के जस्टिस जवाद हसन सेमिनार से खिताब कर रहे हैं।
वो कढ़ाई से भी फाइट कर लेगा। कौन?
ब्राइट, क्योंकि नए ब्राइट का बेस्ट एवर फॉर्मूला गहराई से दाग निकाले।
G13 का पहला और सबसे बड़ा कमर्शियल प्रोजेक्ट RS मॉल एंड अपार्टमेंट, शोरूम टाइप शॉप, अल्ट्रा मॉडर्न ऑफिसेज और एलीट क्लास अपार्टमेंट्स पर मुश्तमिल एक शानदार रिहायशी और कमर्शियल प्रोजेक्ट RS मॉल एंड अपार्टमेंट में फराहम की जा रही हैं दौरे जदीद की वो सहूलियात जो आज से कबल किसी और प्रोजेक्ट में नहीं। 25% डाउन पेमेंट, 3 साल की आसान अदायगी। For booking and other details, Redson Associates.
तो अभी डाउनलोड करो रकमी इस्लामिक डिजिटल बैंक ऐप, बिकॉज यहाँ वो सब मिले
जो तुम चाहो।
डाउनलोड द ऐप नाउ।
पाकिस्तान में पहली बार डीलक्स दे रहा है पेंट की 12 साल तक की वारंटी। आपका घर रहे महफूज पेंट की हर झंझट से और रहे उतना ही परफेक्टली पेंटेड जैसे बिल्कुल नया।
ऐसे कोरियन ग्लास के मिलना पॉसिबल है?
It's possible now.